The college football experience, Kentucky Wildcats 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the bank account that is built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorist t-shirt. Claim your free shirt today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Kentucky Wildcat 2025 season preview episode. And look, I'm ready to go. We're already into like the teens of this thing as we break down all 136 teams. So make sure you check them all out. And youtube.com/the college experience. Hop on over there because I believe you should watch the show. But if you're listening, that's okay too. Life gets in the way sometimes. I get it. And we're going to talk Kentucky Wildcat football today. And I'm going to open up this Kentucky bourbon because I feel like it's the perfect time to have a bourbon. And maybe I'm sure they'd probably donate to their NIL. I'm drinking. This is Bullet, But yeah, I mean, interesting times because Mark Stoops has kind of upped the ante, maybe to a point where a point of no return, perhaps. We'll talk all about it. But if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Pretend it never happened and get along with your life. That's what Stoops wishes regarding the Texas A&M situation. Guys, never happened. I was just going to Houston. No, there's a great strip club down there I'd like to check out. No, you kidding me? I was in College Station. There's a good burger joint there. Don't look into it. I'm coming back to Lexington, baby. Interesting times. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience. Hey, Big Blue Nation, Mark Pope. We are covering that thing heavy. That roster you're putting together. We talk college hoops year round over there, so check it out as well. Give it up for Farmer, Stafford, Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers. Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Money-Lod Mac. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Yes, I was breaking down Kentucky's portal class on the hardwood. I don't know if they have any money left for this football team after all those guys they bought in hoops. Cheers, Big Blue Nation.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight. I mean, it wasn't that the argument with Calipari where he said, I'm a basketball school. Stoops says, yeah, basketball school, my ass. And I don't know. I mean, it's kind of in this
Stoops hasn't been good since he made those comments.
That's because he flirted with the A&M job too. So, I mean, this was just, everything was a disaster there. But yeah. I will say this. Stoops certainly produces more pros than the old school Kentucky. And look, I know my guy, Mike Leach, I'll show a slide at some point in this episode. Rest in peace to the great Mike Leach. He was once an offensive coordinator at the University of Kentucky. Him and Hal Mumme, the air raid, first came through the SEC with Tim Couch and the hefty lefty. And it's a different level of athlete that they're getting now. That is fair. And Stoops has a lot to do with that. However, both can be right. They are a basketball school, but look, We just saw Florida win their third basketball championship. Are they a basketball school now, Mac? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like the things can swing. They can swing. Each, time changes, things change. And I think there's room for Kentucky to be dominant in baseball, basketball, and football. Shit, start a hockey team while you're at it too. But it's a make or break year for Stoops. Let's jump into this thing. YouTube.com/The College Experience, because we do have slides. It's hard to say make or break year, but then you look at his overall record and you say 67 and 73. And Rich Brooks kind of was the first guy to get it started back in the Andre Woodson era. 7-6 in 2022, 7-6 in 2023, 4-8 in 2024. And then there was some news this week. His longtime associate head coach, Vince Marrow, and he's also the recruiting coordinator, left Kentucky for Louisville. Oh, now I will say he is a former teammate of Jeff Brom. So I that could be, not as bad as you think, but still, I think most people in Lexington are saying this.
You disloyal fool ass bitch made punk.
And I'm sure people woke up because they say like they didn't even know that they were talking. Most people woke up thinking,
The fuck is that?
And then there's just something absolutely filthy about going from Kentucky to Louisville. So what is that? I mean, I want to get your opinion on Stoops, but I also want to get your opinion on that news, because that seems like you're getting out of the house as half the house is fucking burning down. It just seems like it. It just seems like it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, talk about running from your problems there. That's a blow. And it's like the Batman quote. Either live long enough to be the hero, or you stay long enough to see yourself become the villain. And unfortunately, it feels like Stoops, I think overall he's done a pretty good job. I think if we can take a little bit of a step back, yes, they are as good as anybody with schedule manipulation that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But it does seem like the house is burning here. 4-8 last year. You got your coordinator going over to Louisville. I mean, come on. I mean, go anywhere but Louisville.
No, it wasn't coordinator, assistant head coach. But yeah. Sorry. I mean, it go anywhere. Yes. And recruiting coordinator, I guess. So technically, you're right. A coordinator of recruiting. But
coordinators, directors, I can't even keep track of these fucking titles anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the SEC. We were looking. What did we do yesterday? A&M. They got like 600 coaches coaching for them.
Yeah.
Check out. Make sure that they got the Bermuda grass coach down there. It is a bit. I will say this. I think he has to win this year.
Yeah.
I know his buyout's still large, but I still think bowl game, you're safe. Let's talk about last season. But before we do that, I want to let the good folks know that the Kentucky Wildcats College Football Experience season preview is brought to you by, us. We are a part of SGPN. Get all of our free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series, NBA Finals, UFL Champions, CFL picks, MLB picks. All of it on the SGPN app, and that's free to download. So get it wherever you get your apps. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. And Eric in the chat saying he was the second most important program person in the program. So, yeah. A year ago, Bush Hamdan, former Boise quarterback, back. This was pretty. Mark Stoops a loyal guy because he's back. He's back. The offense was 119th in scoring offense, 112th in passing offense, 91st in rush offense, and 114th in total offense. And he's back. Now, I know you could say he came in late I think he was hired a little bit later into the offseason. So you could say he deserves a mulligan. Either way, those numbers are terrible. What do you make of those numbers?
Horrible. And Lane Kiffin, you wonder why you were left out of the playoff. You lost to this team at home and only scored 17 points because Kentucky, I don't think Kentucky scored more than 20 in an SEC game the whole rest of the year. Yeah, no, they weren't even close. So this was the most. They never got to 21 points in one SEC game. I mean, they should have beat Georgia if they could have moved the ball at all.
They had that thing, man, for a little bit there. They were in that thing. Yeah. Surprisingly. I thought they're going to get worked. Yeah.
It was, I mean, it was painful. It was Iowa-like to a certain degree on the offensive side of the football. Couldn't sustain drives, struggled to run the ball consistently, no explosive plays. I mean, if you're questioning Stoops' loyalty, keeping Hamdan after that year says it all. So I respect the loyalty, but oh man, they better bounce back in a big way this year.
Yeah, and the chat's talking about. Shout out to our chat, great people there. It's Eric saying he hasn't seen a home SEC win in 2 fucking years.
That's fucking crazy.
But I will say this to Dwayne. I'll push back a little bit on you, Dwayne. Recruiting is the problem. No way can Kentucky keep SEC caliber talent. No way they can get. I'm sorry, not keep. Why? You guys have money. I mean, I don't understand. It's not like the institution's broke, right? I mean,
go get a guy like Pavia.
If Iowa State can win, why can't Kentucky win? Right? Yeah. Or look at Vandy, what Vandy just did.
Yeah.
I don't understand that narrative. Like, I think I understood it more in like the 60s and 70s, but now every game's nationally televised. I think every school, unless you have ridiculous academics, you should expect, especially when you're the state school. When you're state school, you should be you're surrounded by areas of talent too. Tennessee, Ohio produces a shit ton of talent. I think you guys should be good. I think if anything, I would push back on that narrative. I think you guys should be good. And okay, I mean, like, you're probably not in the top couple states for high school recruiting in the state, but high school recruiting is kind of dying.
Yeah. If Indiana and Illinois can be good, why can't Kentucky?
Yeah. I feel like high school recruit. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's great to get, a top 100 player. Sure. But I also think the portal, like Rick Pitino said, and that was for basketball, but I still think this applies for football. You saw it with Signetti. You saw it with a lot of teams. You can be pretty damn good in football. Like we mentioned, New Mexico State basically turned into Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt went out and got the New Mexico State coaching staff and like 10 of their players, including their starting quarterback, star tight end, probably their best player on the best offensive weapon besides Pavia, Eli Stowers. And it worked for them. And that's just Vandy, like where academics still do play a little bit of a role. I think, why can't you? It doesn't make sense to me, especially in the NIL era where you can go get whoever you want. So the offense was terrible a season ago. The good news is only 2 guys are back from that shitty offense.
Clear house.
I mean, it can't get much worse, right? Josh Caddis at tight end and Jalen Farmer at guard. They're back. They're ready to change this narrative, So, yeah, let's go. They did go to the portal, and they brought in Zach Calzada from Incarnate Word. He had a fire season at Incarnate Word. Remember, he was at Texas A&M back with the Jimbo Fisher era a few years back. I kind of think this could be a good get. I mean, I know he's got to learn a new offense and everything, but, like, I remember Jimbo now. Jimbo did get fired. But Jimbo was like really sold on him being a really good quarterback. I remember the press conference where he was talking about, he's like, this guy's going to be a stud.
It's classic Jimbo.
So, all right.
How old is Calzada? Calzada's freshman year at A&M was 2019. He was there Jimbo's second year.
Well, he got injured though. I think like against Colorado. I remember watching that game, or was that Haynes King? It might have been Haynes King that got injured that game. I don't remember, but
Haynes King. But I mean, he had the 2019, then he got the COVID year, and then he had a redshirt year. So, and then he was great at IDub the last couple of years. And anybody that doesn't know IDub, they've been living under a rock. Cam Ward.
Yeah, there's another one, right? Cam Ward. I mean, the fact that Cam Ward came from the FCS/Washington State is proof that Kentucky can be good. And maybe it's Zach Calzada that'll take him to the promised land with Bush Hamdan in year 2. They also went out and got Seth McGowan from, he was at New Mexico State last year, but the previous years he was at Oklahoma there. All right. I was surprised when he left Oklahoma because I thought he was getting on the field a little bit. And I thought, okay. And especially go to New Mexico State, I was a bit surprised there. 10 touchdowns in his career. So, all right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you bring in some guys that played major programs and played a decent amount of time. So, the transfer portal though is a bit crazy here. And so Calzada, McGowan come in, Dante, Dowdell, a running back from Nebraska. They get a slew of wide receivers. Not Happy Gilmore, but Hardley Gilmore, which will probably sum up the sequel. From Nebraska, Ashton Kozart comes in from SMU. True Edwards, which I believe is the son of Troy Edwards, the former Pittsburgh Steeler wideout who I remember watching him in college have a game with like 410 yards against Nebraska when they were number 1 in the nation. JJ Hester from Oklahoma, Kendrick Law from Bama, Troy Stellato from Clemson. So, I mean, they brought in some guys, and I think Gilmore might start for him. I would, I don't know. I've read a bunch of different things. I think Law is one that is going to probably start, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's a few. I've seen different lineups from about 3 or 4 different publications. So, holy shit, that's a lot of guys. Well, and we're not done. The offensive line, holy shit. And the tight end position. They bring in Elijah Brown from UCF, Henry Boyer from the Illini, and then 5 offensive tackles. That's never a good sign, though, Mac, when you're bringing in that many tackles. 7 offensive linemen in total. Rob Flagler comes in from Ball State. Cameron Jones from JMU. How do I pronounce that one there?
Shiza?
Is that Shiza? I don't know. Shiza Pete from New Mexico State. Alex Walschlager. All right. That's we all love going to the bar when it's a cold night out and getting a Walschlager. Wallace Unamba from New Mexico. Joshua Braun from Arkansas, and Evan Wibberly from the tops of Western Kentucky. I think this will be fascinating because the entire offensive line coming from the mid-major ranks, with the exception of Joshua Braun. I mean, have some concerns when there's this many new faces. Because another thing is like they're learning his offense, Hamdan's offense, like it's a first year again.
Yeah.
So it's like, does it even benefit that he's there a second year? To who? The tight end and the left guard coming back? I don't know, man.
This team is very intriguing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, on the one side of the ball, you got the two journeymen, Calzada and McGowan, that both started college in 2019 and 2020. Then you got all the mid majors on the offensive line. I will say they're bringing in, for the most part, guys from winning programs. Programs like JMU, Illinois. I got New Mexico State 2 years ago. I know they struggled a little bit last year. So this is almost an impossible offense to project just with all these new faces. But I know one thing, they'll be better than last year. They can't be any worse.
Yeah.
I like Calzada. So, I mean, that's a good start.
I do think that is an upgrade. I actually believe that's an upgrade at the quarterback spot. Now, I don't know about the offensive line. I mean,
I was going to say, can they protect his ass?
Yeah.
He could be on IR week 4.
I mean, to see the entire offensive line mesh together, we won't even know that answer until we watch the first games. Yeah, I don't know. This is intriguing, but well, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball because that's Stoops' MO. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience Wildcat style is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the first ever bank account that is built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. I mean, there's no usage fees. There's no minimums. There's no credit checks. They're not gonna find out you missed a payment for your car for 6 straight years, right? Don't worry, you're good. You're good. Sign up today at Edge Boost. Bet with the promo code SGPN. And look, if this is the last week to sign up and get a free Refs or Terrorist T-shirt, those shirts I have mine in the other room. Fire. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt today. And remember, as always, to let it ride. We're also brought to you by Circa Casino, downtown Las Vegas. And their ultimate fantasy football giveaway is incredible. For a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for the entire stay. They're going to pick you up from the airport in a limo, which will definitely have booze, a $5,000 food and beverage tab at Stadium Swim where you can do your live draft. If you haven't seen Stadium Swim, come on. And a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. And you can always get 15% off at the Circa properties with the promo code SGP15. So enter the ultimate fantasy football contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. All right, we are back. We are ready to talk defense. Okay, Stoops. Brad White doing a good job, solid job. Scoring defense, they were 33rd in all the land this season. Go 21st in pass defense, 86th in rush defense, and 44th in overall defense. So even with a shitty year, still like respectable numbers. I mean, obviously the run defense you'd like to be a lot better, but I mean, overall it's not terrible. But I guess I would have expected that with it being a Stoops coach team. What do you make of these numbers?
I was just about to say, anytime you get a coach that's got an Iowa defensive background, you know they're going to be well coached defensively. I mean, that's been his calling card for his entire career, whether it was a coordinator at Florida State, Arizona. He's always been a defensive guy. So they've always played good defense at Kentucky. And I think that's why they've been able to overachieve in some of these years. But it does make sense that maybe their pass defense was better than their rush defense because they were behind in so many games. I think a lot of teams just ran on them with a 2 to 3 touchdown lead.
Yeah. Another thing is how much of this is because there's no longer an SEC East for whatever reasons. During the Mark Stoops tenure, I know Georgia was rolling, but not at the beginning of his tenure. Beginning of his tenure, Mark Richt was there, and they were still good. They had great players still, but they weren't national championship good. But Florida's kind of been a disaster off and on over the past decade with Muschamp and McElwain and Mullen and Napier. And South Carolina had some tough years there. Remember when the Citadel went in there and beat them?
I saw that clip earlier today on Twitter.
Oh, it's classic triple option. That's why that's why Kentucky should consider running it. Yeah, my point is that the SEC East was down for a little bit. It was down for a little bit. So maybe that's some of it. Now you got to play so many more teams from the West, and then you add in Oklahoma and Texas. But anyway, back to the defense. They return. Just their secondary, pretty much, and not all of their secondary. Waller only had a few starts, actually. DJ Waller at the corner spot. JQ Hardaway's back. Safety Jordan Lovett and Ty Bryant back as well. They all started games last season, though, so I think it's valid to say they have 4 returning starters there. Front 7, gonna have to figure that out. They went to the portal, and they brought in 7 defensive linemen. McQueese Humphrey Grace from South Dakota, FCS ranks. Coyotes, they're good though. Lorenzo Cowan from USC, not known for their defense, but you never know. Cam Olds from Kent State. Fucking Jack Lambert went there. They read, said we got to call Kent State. Sam Green, another USC transfer. Jaden Williams from Wyoming. And then David Gusta from Wazoo. Gusta's a player. I saw him play at Washington State. I think that's a good get. Linebacker Landon Watson from Marshall. They won the Sun Belt Championship. And then Kevis Thomas from Maryland. I mean, I just trust Stoops on the defensive side of the ball. I think they'll put up similar numbers. They might even be a little bit better against the run. I worry more so about the offense. I think the defense will find a way to be decent. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the defense. Humphrey, Grayson, and Gussa are going to be leaned on big time to produce right away and really be leaders on this defense, it looks like. So I think I like having all those guys back in the secondary too. I'm with you. I'm not worried about the defense. The defense will keep them in the game as much as possible, but they're going to need the offense to be a little bit respectable to complement this defense.
Yeah. And once again, the entire offense it's almost like the OC's in his first year because the whole offense is new. Well, we like to talk about state of the program here. And part of the state of the program is your stadium. Whether you like it or not, it is. Part of what makes college football the greatest thing on fucking planet Earth is their fucking stadiums. All right? Commonwealth Stadium. I'm not calling it that Kroger bullshit. It is Commonwealth Stadium. All right? 52 years young. I was going to give it a 7 of 10, but then you dive into the photos and it's just like, damn, it is a good looking stadium. Right? Just because they were calling it Kroger Stadium, I was like, fuck this. I'm giving it a 7. No, I gave it an 8. All right? Came to my senses. Mac, this is a great stadium. I mean, it's like in the SEC ranks, it's probably not in the tops, but I still dig it. I think it's a cool stadium. I would love to go to a game there. Never been to a game there. And I need to, because when you look at this field and this stadium, it's football done right. There's no roof, no ceiling, none of that bullshit. And it looks pretty nice. Looks pretty damn nice. So I gave it, I'm in a good mood. I gave it an 8. Some of these shots are fire. What do you give this thing, man?
I think an 8's fair. 61,000 strong there at Commonwealth Stadium. They've had some cool night games. Like you say, like the shots at nighttime, I think are pretty damn cool. So I didn't go there for a game, but I've driven by it. I've been to Rupp. I haven't been to Commonwealth. So that's on my bucket list too.
Yeah, I got to get to a game there. I mean, it's a good looking stadium, man, especially with these fireworks going on, man. Yeah, catch a night game there. If you're in the Kentucky area, even if you're in Tennessee or some shit, get out to a Wildcat game. Make the drive. What are you doing with your bum ass life? All right. What are you doing? Go support college football.
It's the only show that shits on the viewer. Hey, fuck you over there.
You bum ass life. Listen to my damn podcast. It's a good stadium, man. Get out there, tailgate, do some nose beers with fucking Ashley Judd or something. Who knows? 8 of 10. 8 of 10. I like that shot there when it's stormy. You see, there's a nice daytime shot out there for it. It is a good stadium, man, and the fans are loyal. Big Blue Nation is fucking good, man. They're good. All right. So state of the program. Now this is where it was tricky. I had to give it a 5 of 10 because
lowest so far.
Well, hear me out. You have this drama where your winningest coach probably since fucking Bear Bryant has like flirted with another job. Like it seems like the fans kind of don't want him there anymore. You can't even play the SEC East schedule anymore. You're playing another bunch of you added in. You voted for these other teams to come in that have better historical programs, probably spend more money on football than you. Now your top assistant leaves for Louisville of all places, and Brom seems to get that thing going. So I had to say 5 of 10 right now because of all the taboo going on. I feel like state of the program. Do you feel comfortable that Stoops is coaching there in 12 months? Shit, not only 12 months. I don't know that he's coaching it in November. So
I think 5 is generous. They're also 28-62 in the SEC play under Stoops. So like they do a great job against the shit teams, aka their bye games. I was gonna give it a 4. They're about as low on the totem pole in terms of trajectory. Yeah, you're probably looking for a new coach. You're at the bottom in, I guess, resources in the SEC from a football standpoint because you're all in on basketball. I'll give it a 4. They're not going in the right direction. Sorry, Kentucky fans.
Oh, so I'm the nice guy this episode. Besides calling the listeners bum pieces of shit, I'm the nice guy. Get out to a game, all right? And yeah, it's 5 of 10. Let's go. We're gonna get to the schedule. We're gonna get to that 2025 schedule. Maybe Mark Stoops. That's the best thing about sports. You can always shit on idiots like me. That's what I love about sports is that, you know, you can listen to this and be like, this guy Dundee's a fucking idiot. I'm going to throw for 5,000 yards this year. You know what I mean? So it's the best. You get to just truly shut somebody up. And yeah, that's one of the best things about sports. One of the other best things about sports is us, SGPN. All right. I want to tell you that SGPN is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog's going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. The longer the series goes, the bigger the bonuses get. So jump on over there. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 of bonus credits. That's UnderdogFantasy.com promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yep, you probably heard me talk about Rhythm before, but not with their new stuff they got going on. They just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think about like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. All right. Also get that free 7-day trial period. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Look, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport. Got the Stanley Cup Finals, the NBA Finals, the UFL Championship, College Baseball World Series in Omaha. You can bet on that Jello shot challenge. Got to get in on this. All right. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well, even outside of the state. So jump on over there. Head over to mybookie.ag, but use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Of course, terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right. Let's talk about the schedule. Let's get this bullshit out of here. Week 1. Oh, boy.
Oh, this schedule is brutal, by the way.
In a series that goes back to 2019, the Toledo Rockets, who put it on Hail State last year in Starkville. What was that score?
Dude, they fucked them up. It was like 38-14 or something.
This is a dangerous game. Toledo's a giant killer. I've seen Toledo beat a bunch of good teams. They beat Michigan at Michigan.
Yeah.
They beat Mississippi State at Mississippi State. Beat Colorado one year. I've seen them. I mean, this is a legit. I can tell you this: Toledo's offense is better than Kentucky's, without question. I feel like that's not a crazy statement. But you know what though? Stoops gets it done. 24-23. They're down 23-17 late. Zach Calzada. Sounds like an Italian dish. I'll take a Calzada. He's gonna bring the fucking team down the field after they have one of those real kickoffs, not that NFL bullshit they're trying to throw in our face, that European soccer shit. And Kentucky's gonna find a way to win this game. 24-23. What are you doing here?
I'm going to go Kentucky as well. I would imagine Toledo is going to be a very popular upset pick because of how bad Kentucky. Everybody's out of Kentucky. I'm trying to look. When was the last time Stoops lost a bye game in September? I don't think he has.
I think Southern Miss got him.
Yes. All right. So all the way back to 2016, he lost the
Southern Miss got him, but he's been on the edge. EMU had him on the ropes. What? EMU almost got him 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes. He's there's been a couple. I mean, Eastern Kentucky almost got him a couple years ago.
I remember that. Northern Illinois too, I think.
Yeah, there's been a couple close calls. I'm with you. Kentucky finds a way. They're 1-0. They better get this one too, by the way.
This is a tough game though, because Toledo's like a legit.
Yeah,
they spend way more than every team in the MAC. They're a good, really good program. They're kind of like App State. Ask Texas A&M and Michigan about App State, South Carolina too, right? Week 2. This crazy racist bastard's coming into Kentucky. No, Lane Kiffin. This is a revenge spot, though, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be a beatdown.
Oh man, I don't know though, man. Because here's the thing. Here's what I like. Kentucky fucks with them.
They do. It's always a close game. Actually.
That's what I'm saying. They should have won the previous time before. Like Will Levis fumbled when they were in field goal range, and I think Stoops. One of the reasons why I'm not a huge Lane Kiffin guy is I've always thought his offenses are somewhat gimmicky, and I feel like Stoops can kind of put the kibosh on that offense. Does a pretty damn good job game planning for it. I think you still have to take Ole Miss, but I mean, I don't know. You know what? No, I got it. Between this and Toledo, they're going to lose one of them.
I'm looking at it. Every time that they've played, it's been like a 3-point game.
I told you, man. He schemes him up. Like Kiffin's offense only works because he has better athletes. Like when he plays Wake Forest or something, they destroy him. Or Duke in the bowl game, but Duke didn't have their whole team. But it's kind of a gimmick offense. So it's like, they were running the Jeff Lebby shit for so long, with their little quarterbacks doing that bitch ass late slide.
Give me Kentucky to shock everybody. They beat him again. Yeah. Stoops gets it. Sometimes these teams, when everybody's saying they're going to suck, they come in with a chip on their shoulder to start the year. So Kentucky beats Ole Miss in the foo-foo offense that you're talking about. Game 2 without Jackson Dart. First game on the road. Yeah, let's go. Kentucky upset. Between this and Toledo, I think they're going to drop one. I mean, they have great fans that play. Those places will be lit. It doesn't matter who the hell's coaching there, but I just think 1-1 is more realistic than 2-0. Week 3, the Eastern Michigan, those pesky Eagles that gave them a tough game. Chris Creighton's boys. We already did the Eastern Michigan preview. You can go listen to that one. We took Kentucky. So 2-1, 3-0 for you, buddy. Yeah, it's actually tempting to take Eastern Michigan if they beat Ole Miss.
I mean, Chris Creighton's teams, they won at Purdue, they won at Illinois, they won at Arizona. They got Herm Edwards fired at Arizona State. So, I mean, it wouldn't be that shocking. I mean, but I'll take Kentucky to get this. 2-1. 2-1. Yeah. You got them 3-0. You're
3-0, man. They're coming in. Man. They're feeling good about themselves. And here we go. SEC play.
Then you got a bye week. Shout out to the bye week there. And then they come out of the bye week. And they head to Williams-Brice Stadium, awesome college football environment. Series goes back to 1937. And I feel this is a winnable game to me still. I know Kentucky, like Lenora Sellers looked really good late in the year at South Carolina, but I also remember the Old Dominion game where they should have lost. But, I mean, I got to take South Carolina.
There was a time under Stoops where they owned South Carolina.
They still could win this game. They could win this game, but I just think the environment is so fucking lit there.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing the percentages, I think South Carolina is the one you got to say here. But they're capable of winning this because the defense could give Lenora Sellers some issues. But yeah, I got them 2-2. So you got them 3-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Gamecocks here.
Then back-to-back away.
Lost.
That's tough.
Lost.
Did they play at Georgia last year, or was that in Lexington?
No, it was in Lexington. It was a primetime game. It was.
I remember watching it. I remember it was, but for some reason I thought it was in Athens.
Last time they went to Athens, it was 51-13.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the series goes back to 1939. This is a loss, so I got them 2-3. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not picking them to win in Georgia.
Yeah, I thought you might say, well, they were close last year. They got a confidence about them, an aura about them.
That's the worst thing that could have happened. Kirby's going to just put on that all week, and they're going to beat the brakes off of Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Kentucky fans. This is a Kentucky preview, not the Georgia preview.
Then you got at least you get another bye week after the body blow that is Georgia.
Yeah.
You come out of the bye week and oh shit.
God damn. Georgia and Texas back to back?
Hey, didn't they play Texas well last year? I think they played Texas quite well last year. I think they did. I think they did.
31-14.
Arch on the road?
Is this Red River look ahead?
Tell me it is. Tell me it is. I didn't look.
Red River coming off Red River. Ooh.
That matters if they win or lose that game.
Stoops with the bye week to prepare for Star coming off Red River. Spot's great. I'll take Texas.
If they just had more returning starters on offense, I would feel better. There's so many question marks on the O-line.
Yeah.
At the wide receiver position, I just feel like I can't. I want to so bad. You know, I hate Texas.
Take the points. We'll take the points.
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys ever check stats? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Regarding what?
Yeah, we check stats, box scores. It's just not. Yeah, this is not going to be your analytical show.
I mean, during the regular season, you might see us recite stats a little more.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're previewing 136 teams. But yeah, I mean, I do remember last season. I mean, we watch every fucking game. I got 8 TVs right here. I mean, we've been doing this for a while.
Oh, he's talking to the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was wondering. I was like, damn, what stats are we talking about? I was like, does Kentucky have a streak against Texas?
Yeah. I was like, it was new in the SEC. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. He's talking about the chat. So what's this put us at if they lose to the Hornets?
I'm 3-3. You're 2-4.
Damn it. See, he's got to worry about the game that could get him fired.
Yeah. This next game is hard too. God.
The Vols, no, they're winning this one, dude. I have had enough of this stuff. All right. They're winning this one. They're winning this one. They got to come to their look. Tennessee's replacing a lot. They are replacing a lot from a year ago. Obviously, Nico. I know that might be a blessing in disguise because Aguilar could end up being better for the team than Nico. This is a fun rivalry game, but I will take. Look, they're due for a win. They're due for a win. My only fear is what happens if they fire. What if like Texas embarrasses them and they just fire Stoops right then?
Yeah, I will say, the last 3 losses or last 4 losses have been 1-score games in Lexington. Like they've been knocking on the door.
This is the one, man. They lost all their defensive line was really good a year ago. Tennessee's.
Yeah.
They lost that. You know, they obviously lost Nico. The running back room's different.
They're off of Alabama too. Yeah, give me Kentucky.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Come on.
Let's go. Let's go. They follow up the Vols with the trip to Hughes Strip Club Freeze and the Auburn Tigers, which everyone is so damn bullish on Auburn. It's driving me crazy. It's like they lost the fucking cow last year at home. I understand that. Okay, they might have been paying better over the past 2 years, but and maybe that adds up. But I mean, isn't there a world? What time of year is this? Do you have the day on this game?
November 1.
Isn't there a world where Hugh Freeze could be fired by now?
Both coaches.
Maybe give or take a week.
Yeah.
I'll take Auburn though. I wouldn't shock me though. It would not shock me.
I'll take Auburn.
Rob Donaldson saying Hugh Freeze will not be coaching this game because of being fired or another scandal or in the hospital again. Remember when he coached from a hospital bed?
Yes, it was fantastic.
One of the better. He's like Petrino 2.0. Who you taking? You taking Auburn?
Yeah, I'm going to take Auburn, especially if they beat Tennessee. Like, that's a huge fucking win. If they
I still think this could be a game, though. This could be a fucking game. Like, I don't think this is like Auburn's going to run away with this. This is like a 1-score game. The last time Kentucky and Auburn played, I feel like it was wild at Jordan Hare. Trying to remember what happened. I feel like Kentucky fumbled at like inside the 5 or something. Yeah, I'll take Auburn, but I don't feel that one is to me like a 50-50 game. Then the Gators come to town. And a series that goes back to 1917. I know Stoops, this is like a C-note game. He's highlighted this one. They have been, Stoops, one of the best things he's done with Kentucky. Florida owned Kentucky before Stoops was there. They could get Florida. Everyone loves Florida this year. I don't know if I'm there yet.
I'll tell you what, they got every team off a big rivalry game. They got Texas off the Red River. They got Tennessee off the Alabama game, the cigar game, and then they're getting Florida off the cocktail party game.
This, give me Kentucky.
Give me Kentucky.
Give me Kentucky.
Kentucky.
This Gator bullshit. All right,
Stoops
let's go.
Napier
could be fired by here too. The whole damn schedule. I feel like.
Let's go.
I feel like Kentucky historically under Stoops. I know the last game got away from them last year, but historically under Stoops, they have given Florida a hard time. They can do this. They can do this.
They had beaten them 3 in a row before that. So yeah.
Rob Donaldson thinks we're getting carried away, right? What I got him at 4 wins right now. What are my wins? Eastern Michigan, Toledo.
I got him at 5.
Yeah,
came away from going bowling.
Well, watch out because GBO Farms is Tennessee Tech. Very Golden Eagles come to town. Win.
Yes, bowling. Kentucky's bowling over here. Man, they're gonna freaking buy me freaking front row seats for Kentucky next year because I guarantee no other podcast has Kentucky bowling.
I mean, they go to take on Diego Pissing Pavia. They could win this game, but I'm taking Vandy. Anytime you get a quarterback that's been in college for like 10 years, that's a good thing to have, I think. And the pisser, but this is a game too. I mean, Vandy doesn't, but I do like Vandy. Eli Steller's coming back. But I think it's a Big Blue Nation might make the trip down there. But I got to take Vandy. Jerry Kill. What are you doing here?
I'll take Vandy. The continuity, Pavia Senior Day.
Then we end the season at Papa John's Stadium, wherever the fuck they're calling that thing now. Series Governor's Cup goes back to 1912. I got to take Louisville, man. I'm sorry, Big Blue Nation. Yeah. Louisville, I like their roster. Their running backs, their QB coming in from USC Miller Moss. Brom is a very good coach, X's and O's. I hate to say this on your podcast, but I think Louisville's the play. So I got them 5-7. I got 5-7.
Yeah, I got Brom too, man. I'm with you. I'm a big Jeff Brom guy, and shout out to It's Eric. I'll meet you there. Let's go. Save that bourbon in that flask for me for some Kentucky football this year. 6-6 bowling. Side note: Kentucky had been to 8 straight bowl games before last year, so
that was the SEC East.
True. But I got them beating all the SEC East teams. Tennessee and Florida. That's what gets them over the finish line. 6-6 for me.
Shout out to Kentucky Football Nation. He thinks 6-6. I think it's right on the fence there. I got him 5-7. To me, like your floor is like what 4-8. Your ceiling is 7-5, maybe.
Yeah, I mean the road games are hard.
Yeah. Well, the win total is 4.5.
I like the over.
I love the odds. Plus 25,000 to win the SEC, but plus 2,000 to make the CFP. Someone make it make sense. So I guess I'm on the over. I don't feel incredibly strong conviction just because. Let me build you a scenario. Like I think the over. If you could tell me that Stoops is coaching every damn game this season, I would bet the over probably.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they might want to can them at a certain point in the season, and that makes it tricky because then your team could quit. We've seen this before with Florida. We've seen this before with a bunch of other teams outside of the SEC or whatever, where if they do can them, it's possible that the team could quit. So it makes it a tricky play. But I think they're going to go over 4.5 wins. I think they're going to go over this. You locking this? You had them at 6-6, game and a half difference.
I actually feel pretty good about this. I'm looking back on last year. I know we talked about how disastrous it was on the offensive side of the ball, but a 1-point loss to Georgia, a 10-point loss to Tennessee in Knoxville, a 17-point loss that was closer than the score at Texas. They had some games that were close. If they could just get a little bit more on the offensive side with Calzada, I think I like taking a veteran coach when his back's against the wall. So, yeah, I will lock up Kentucky over 4.5. They go 6-6 back to a bowl game. Go Big Blue.
Let's fucking go. I'm on the over, but I'm not going to lock it up. But you can have that lock. I'll even play your music here. Money line, Mac, lock it up. The over on Big Blue Nation. Shout out to It's Eric who's saying, Dundee, do you remember the hefty lefty's favorite receiving target? Oh, man. Hefty lefty. So I do remember a baller wideout for them. Craig Yeast, I think it was. Craig Yeast? I don't know if he was hefty lefty. He might have been Tim Couch. But he was a baller for them. Maybe I got it right. Maybe I didn't. I know Randall Cobb was there, but that was after, right? Yeah. I'm on the over. Max locking it up. Shout out to Big Blue Nation. Got to catch a game there. If you're in the area, get out to a game. Go Big Blue Nation. Great stadium. Derek Abney. There you go. See? My apologies. I do remember him. Yeah. We got another show coming right up in 15 minutes. All right. We will be talking Oklahoma State Cowboy football. We're breaking down all 136 teams on the college football experience. So subscribe, tell a friend, please. All right. Send this thing via text, email, write it down on a piece of paper, throw it in a goddamn Coke bottle, throw that shit in the ocean. All right. I mean, look, I'm not telling you to pollute the planet, but I mean, every goddamn cruise ship just gets caught every 6 months, just dropping a ton of shit. What's one Coke bottle? Fuck it. You know what I mean? All right. Just tell somebody about the damn podcast. All right. We got Oklahoma State coming up next, folks. We're both on the over. All right. Let's go. Till next time. Enjoy the slideshow, by the way. We're going to go through some Kentucky history right here. Till next time, though, this is the college football experience, Kentucky edition. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. Let's get 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks.
I love that guy.
Need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged, your board stiff. So we're raising pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift.
I'm taking a pitch right now. It's like
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, You're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and their turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the head. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it sees a goal and moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without love. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind,